So I'm really excited to share with everybody the Iraqi Selichot, and I'm informally calling this the Iraqi High Holiday Hits. These are some of my favorite passages that we chant on Rosh Hashanah or Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, Yom Kippur. And I chose also those that have choruses that I can teach you quickly, even if you don't read Hebrew, so that we can sing together. Because of the delay on Zoom, I'm just going to ask everybody to sing along, but we're not going to hear each other on Zoom. So I'll just hear you in my head. And I want to just tell you ahead of time that I am singing and teaching the chorus in the traditional Iraqi pronunciation of Hebrew. So Hebrew comes from the Middle East. It's a Semitic language. And the Jews who remained in the Middle East and North Africa continued to make all of the original pronunciations. So Hebrew originally had a different pronunciation for each letter of the alphabet. Jews who ended up in Germanic and Slavic speaking, in countries with Germanic and Slavic speaking languages, lost the ability over the centuries to make certain pronunciations. So what's known as a double letter, like the Aleph and the Ayin, is actually Aleph and Ayin, or the Chet and the Chaf is actually Het and Chaf. So the Yemenite Jews preserved everything. The Iraqi Jews preserved almost everything. We lost one thing, which is the vet. So the bet without a dagesh in the middle. We say ba for both of those. My understanding is that because in Arabic there's no va, and so it became ba and ba. So a lot of times when I lead prayers in Hebrew, people think I'm leading in Arabic. And I remind them that they're both Semitic languages, and so the pronunciations for both Hebrew and Arabic are very compatible. So the first one that we're going to sing is Mi al Kamocha. I'm going to first break down the words, and then I'm going to add the melody. So I'll say the whole phrase of the words first, and then I'll break it down. Mi el Kamocha. So let's break that down. Mi, I'm going to let you say mi, el, kamocha, kamocha. Mi el kamocha. Mi el kamocha. Who God is like you. And now I'm going to add the melody. So I'm going to start with one phrase. You'll repeat that. I'll go back to the beginning. I'll add another phrase. So listen first so you can hear what I'm adding. And you repeat that. And it's the fastest way to learn the chorus because every time you sing it, you're reinforcing what you already learned. So it goes like this. Mi el kamocha, mi el kamocha. So I'm going to hear you in my head, and we're going to sing it together now 3 times, just so that it reinforces what you've learned. Mi el kamocha, mi el kamocha, mi el kamocha. Okay, so I'm going to jump into the verse, and then you come in with the chorus, but I forgot to say, I just touched my necklace. I wanted to dedicate this prayer service to my mother, E.J. Khazoom. She transitioned to the next life in July 2019. I miss her terribly, and she loved all of the Selichot, and we sang them together every year. So I'm sure that she's here with us in her other dimension. All right. Adir wenaor بردق وحلد مي إلك مخا قول عمقد دبر صدقت مي إلك مخا هدور بالبوشو ونعم אין זולתו מי אל כמוך זוכר הברית חונן שארית מי אל כמוך طهور عينيم يو يوشب الشمايم مي إلى كموخ كوبش عوانوث לא בשסדקות מי אל כמוך מלך מלכים נורא ונשגב מי אל כמוך סומך נופלים עוני עשוקים מי אל כמוך קודה ומסל صعب בכוח מי אל כמוך قرب لقرأ رحم وحنون مي أل كموخ شوخن الشحاقيم תומך תמימים מי אל כמוך. I live in the West Coast and we have the smoke from the fires, so my voice is a little bit irritated. I'm just going to drink some tea. Okay. Next one is Adonis Selichot. So let's go over the chorus. I'm going to say the full phrase, then I'm going to break it down, and then I'll bring in the melody. Hatanu lefanecha rahem alenu. So I'm going to break it down. Hatanu lefanecha rahem alenu. I'm going to say the whole phrase again. Listen first and then repeat. Hatanu lefanecha rahem alenu. Hatanu lefanecha rahem alenu. Now I'm going to add the melody. Hatanu. Together. Hatanu. I'm going to go back and add. Listen first. Hatanu le. Hatanu le. Hatanu lefanecha. Hatanu lefanecha. I'm going back again. Listen first. Hatanu lefanecha ra. Hatanu lefanecha ra. Hatanu lefanecha rahem. Hatanu lefanecha rahem. Hatanu lefanecha rahem ale. Hatanu lefanecha rahem ale. Hatanu lefanecha rahem alenu. Hatanu lefanecha رحم علينا. Okay, so there's something in Judeo-Arabic, which is a language that combines Hebrew and Arabic. It's kind of like the equivalent of Yiddish in the Middle East. And there's a word alucha, which means it's like taffy. So both in Jewish and Muslim, probably also Christian traditions, there's this just like one note lasts a really long time, which is why when I break it down, I'm focusing on the musical phrase as opposed to doing the full word. So I'm gonna repeat the whole phrase, and then I want us to sing together in our heads. Sing the chorus together 3 times so that you have it ready when I then go through the verses. So listen first. Hatanu lefanecha rachem aleinu. Now let's do together 3 times. Hatanu lefanecha rachem aleinu. Hatanu lefanecha رحم علينا حاطان لفنيخ رحم علينا. We're just going to have a little more tea. Okay, so I'm going to jump into the verse. Adon ha-Selichot bohen lebaboth גולה עמוקות דובר הצדקות חטאנו לפניך רחם עלינו הדור בנפלאות ותיק בנחמות זוכר ברית האבות חוקר כליות חטאנו לפניך רחם עלינו טוב ומטיב לבריות יודע כל נסתרות כה בשעוונות לא בשצדקות חטאנו לפניך רחם עלינו מלא זכיות נורא תהילות סולח עוונות עונה בעצרות חטאנו לפניך רחם עלינו פועל ישועות סופע עתידות קורא הדורות רוכב ערבות שומע תפילות תמים דעות חטאנו לפניך רחם עלינו. Okay, the next one is Ahot Qatana. And there are 2 choruses. So the first one, you're saying, may the curses of this year be basically eliminated. And at the very end, you're saying, may the blessings of the new year come. So the first chorus goes all the way through until the very last verse. And the chorus at the end is the same melody, but the words are a little bit different. So I'm going to say the full phrase of the full first chorus, and then I'll break it down. Tichle shana v'qilelotheha. So let's do that together now. I'll say it first, and then you repeat. Tichle, tichle, shana, shana, v'qilelotheha, v'qilelotheha. I'm going to put the whole thing together now, and then you can repeat it. Tichle shana v'qilelotheha. Tichle shana v'qilelotheha. Okay, the next one, similar but different. In the words, it's very different actually. Tahel shana u'birchotheha. Let me break that down for you. Tahel, tahel, shana, shana, u'birchotheha, u'birchotheha. Now I'm going to do the melody. I'm spacing out on the chorus. Hold on, I have to run it through my head. Okay. تخلي 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 شا تخلي شا تخلي شانا تخلي شانا تخلي شانا وقللو تخلي شانا وقللو تخلي شانا وقللو ثي تخلي شانا وقللو ثي تخلي شانا وقللو ثيها تخلي شانا وقللو ثيها. Okay, let's do that 3 times. Listen first to the full phrase and then repeat after me. تخلي شانا وقللو ثيها تخلي شانا وقللو ثيها تخلي شانا وقللو ثيها تخلي شانا وقللو ثيها. So same melody for the second chorus, just different words. تاحل 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 الشانا تاحل الشانا تاحل الشانا وبرخو تاحل الشانا وبرخو تاحل الشانا وبرخو ثي تاحل الشانا وبرخو ثي تاحل الشانا وبرخو ثي تاحل الشانا وبرخو ثي. Let's do that one again 3 times. تاحل الشانا وبرخو ثيها تاحل الشانا وبرخو ثيها تاحل الشانا وبرخو ثيها. Great. Okay, I'm just going to drink some tea. All right, here we go. أخذ قطانا تفل ثيا عرخ وعونا تهل ثيا إلنا رفانا لمحل ثيا تخلي شانا وقللو ثيا بنو عمميلم لخاث قراي وشر وهلوليم كلا خناي عاد ما ثعاليم عيني خوثيري زاري ما أخليم نحلو ثيا تخلي شانا وقللو ثيا ريعي الصنخة أريض زارو وشفخ وحارونخا بأمر معروف وخنث يمينك برصوارو لو الشئير على اللفيا تخلي شانا وقل لفيا أقم مش بلوث لرش مملخت كي ببرقالوث نفشه نتخت واخرم زولوث لبح شفخت بدل دالوث مشكنا ثيا تخلي شانا وقلل ثيا ما فيتعالي بالتخمبر ومبثكيلي علة الشبر وثفر لي فيلي بسفخك غبور ليه ثم وخالي مخلو ثيا تخلي شانا وقلل ثيا حيله قابعه هكو يكون له وطوبه سابعه وبززو يشلو واللي بهقارو وبخل زوت لوم مخناعو مع قلو ثيا تخلي شانا وقللو ثيا زمره الشابات وحشقه تغبير لا حبس قربات ضده وثعبير من بدا آبات نفشه وثاسير لباقي شابات كل اللثيا تخلي شانا وقل ثيا نحيها بناحت للنوير بصاه رب نزناحت مدد حفصاه وهيك براحت على ثناصا لوه بشيلو أشكال ثيا دخل الشانا وقلل ثيا حزقوا وغيلوا كيشد جمار لصره حيلو بريث الشمار لخم وثعلو لصيان ومار سولو سولو مسلو ثيا. Second chorus. تحل الشانا وبرخو ثيا. The challenge of Zoom is there's no conversation, so I don't get a break with my voice. So excuse me if I just take a little extra tea. Okay. That one we just sang was one of my absolute favorites. And I have a band called Iraqis in Pajamas. We combine ancient Iraqi Jewish prayers with original alternative and punk rock. And we actually have a song called Ahad Qatana. Well, it's called Little Sister, but that's what Ahad Qatana means. And it incorporates that particular song, that prayer. And if you'd like to find out more about the band, we're at iraqisinpajamas.com. I'm actually sitting in front of our, what do you call this, banner, I guess. All right, the next one is Aneno. There's no chorus. You just repeat the verse. So the melody is, I'm going to sing the whole melody at first and then break it down. Na 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 na. So I'll break it down. Na 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 na. Going back to the beginning, listen. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. So if you read Hebrew, please, to the best of your ability, sing along using the words. If you don't read Hebrew, feel free to just hum. So the way it works is that I sing one line and then we repeat it. Now, I'm going to be doing a lot of alucha. For those of you who weren't here earlier, alucha is Judeo-Arabic for taffy, and it's You don't have to worry about that. When we come back in the repetition of the line, it'll be na 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 na. So that remains the same. So again, I sing a line, we come back with that melody with whatever line I have just sung. I hope that's not confusing. I can't hear anyone, so I don't know if you're confused, but hopefully if you are, you'll catch on. All right, the first line together. Anenu Elohe Abraham, Anenu, repeat. Anenu Elohe Abraham, Anenu. Now it's me. Anenu وفاحد يسحق عنينو. Together. عنينو وفاحد يسحق عنينو. عنينو عبير يعقوب. عنينو عنينو عبير يعقوب. عنينو. I'll do a regular one here. عنينو مغن داوود. عنينو عنينو مغن داوود. عنينو عنينو عني بعثر صون. عنينو عنينو عني بعثر صون. عنينو عنينو عني بعسرة. عنينو عنينو عني بعسرة. عنينو عنينو عني بعذر حميم. عنينو عنينو عني بعذر حميم. عنينو عنينو אלוהי המרכבה, עננו, עננו, אלוהי המרכבה, עננו, עננו, رحم وحنون عنينو عنينو رحم وحنون عنينو. The next one on page 6, لمعنى خيالو هاي. All right. The chorus here, I'm going to say the words first. Excuse me. I'm going to say the words first. I'll say the whole phrase, and then I'll break them down. You repeat, and then we'll get in the melody. Adonai haqshiba wa'aseh al ta'ahar. Okay? So me first. Adonai, Adonai, haqshiba, haqshiba, wa'aseh, wa'aseh, al ta'ahar. تأحر. So now I'm going to add the melody. Adonai yaqshiba, Adonai yaqshiba, Adonai yaqshiba, wa'aseh, Adonai yaqshiba, wa'aseh, Adonai yaqshiba, wa'aseh al, Adonai yaqshiba, wa'aseh al, Adonai yaqshiba wa'aseh al ta'ahar. Adonai yaqshiba wa'aseh al ta'ahar. Let's do that whole phrase 3 times together. Adonai yaqshiba wa'aseh al ta'ahar. Adonai yaqshiba wa'aseh al ta'ahar. Adonai yaqshiba wa'aseh al ta'ahar. All right, so I'm going to jump in with the verse now. למענך אלוהי רסע עמלך שחר לחלות פניך במעמד השחר. Together. Adonai yaqshiba wa'aseh al ta'ahar. למענך אלוהי תלמם صولותיהם שבעי ראש ולען בבטנו דם ושביים وشر الحصام وعنيم والتفن لمريم وهط أذن للشوعم بثفيلات الشحر. أذناي يقشيبا وعسى al ta'ahar. למענך אלוהי وعسى לטובעות وحن النفشات عصوبات لما يشع سماؤت وقبس نادحم بزور بخل بيؤت أشر ميروب تلاؤت عرم مؤد الشحر. أنا يقشيبا وعسى al ta'ahar. למענך אלוהי יהמו רחמך וממעון שמך שמע כל עמך סובלי אפיך כספך וזעמך ومن صائمך لبى מעוז סחרחר. أذناي يقشيبا وعسى al ta'ahar. למענך אלוהי תלך תרחם ושמח מרונם ובעשתך תנחם והפלח שדך וחוסנה ורחם עמוסים מביתם ומרחם משחר. أذناي يقشيبا وعسى al ta'ahar. I'm going to turn off my heater. I mentioned you may have come in late. I'm in the West Coast. We have all this crazy smoke. My voice is dried out, and I'm realizing the heater's not helping matters, so I'm going to turn that off. Okay, just gonna drink a little more. All right, the next one on page 7 is Ya Shema Ebyonecha. There's a lot of words in this one. Okay, I'm gonna say the whole thing first, all the words, and then I'll break it down. Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim Panecha, Abino Lebanecha, Al Ta'alem Oznecha. I'm gonna break it down now. Ya Shema, Ebyonecha, Ebyonecha, Hamhalim, Panecha, Panecha, Abino, Lebanecha, Al Ta'alem, Oznecha. Now I'm gonna add the melody. Ya Shema, Ebyonecha, Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim, Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim, Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim Panecha, Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim Panecha, Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim Panecha, Abino, Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim Panecha, Abino, Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim Panecha, Abino Lebanecha, Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim Panecha, Abino Lebanecha, Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim Panecha, Abino Lebanecha, Al Ta'alem, Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim Panecha, Abino Lebanecha, Al Ta'alem. Last one, the whole thing. Ya, listen first. Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim Panecha, Abino Lebanecha, Al Ta'alem Oznecha. So let's do that 3 times together. Let me just drink first. All right. Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim Panecha, Abino Lebanecha, Al Ta'alem Oznecha, Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim Panecha, Abino Lebanecha, Al Ta'alem Oznecha, Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim Panecha, Abino Lebanecha, Al Ta'alem Oznecha, Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim Panecha, Abino Lebanecha, Al Ta'alem Oznecha. All right, so gonna jump in, and it actually starts with the chorus, so you can sing along with me. Ya Shema Ebyonecha, Hamhalim Panecha, Abino Lebanecha, تعلم أذنيخ يا عمام عمقيم يقروا مرب مسوقيم علنا تشب مريقيم هايم اللي فانيخا يا شمع ابيونيخا هم حليم بانيخا أبينو لبنيخا أل تعلم أذنيخا وثم وعنام محور بزونام ويملو تعسل معنام عسسر المعنيخا يا شمع ابيونيخا هم حليم بنيخا أبينو لبنيخا أل تعلم عزنيخا ومحها يوم حبام ورسك مشانبام والخاتخن لبام وغم تقشي بأذنيخا يا شمع ابيونيخا هم حليم بنيخا أبينو لبنيخا أتعلم عزنيخا دمعة بنيهم تشعي والثسف عدر طوعي وثاقن لخروعي وفقبته بصنعيخا يا شمع ابيونيخا هم حليم بنيخا أبينو لبنيخا هم حليم أذنيخا هولخ بدرخ نخوحا تبصر ما يوم سليحا وبثفي منحا هم صيام حنيخا يا شمع ابيونيخا هم حليم بنيخا أبينو لبنيخا أل تعلم أذنيخا. Okay, the next one is often known as Hontahon, and typically people actually jump into the part that's Hontahon, which is about 2/3 of the way down. I have no idea why, but it starts off with Batahuba. There is no chorus. It's just like the same melody over and over again. But I'd like to just do two things. One is I want to do a time check, and two is I'm wondering if someone can maybe make announcements or something, because I've been drinking so much fluid. I need to run to the bathroom. Is that a possibility? I can't see anyone but myself. Can somebody jump back on? Moderator, help.
Yvonne, do you want to make any announcements? Any thank you?
All right, I'll be back.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say thank you to all the people who made this possible. Thanks to Tiferet Israel for hosting. Thank you to Rabbi Werbo for being the host and letting us do this. And thank you to Howard White for helping with putting the booklet together for everybody to follow along. There were a lot of sponsors. Thank you to all of you for contributing to make it possible. Thanks to Judah for being the tech shomer. And thank you to all of you for coming and spending the time with us, because it's a great opportunity. We had Loolwa back in the spring where she did a Iraqi Kabbalat Shabbat for Zoom with Khazoom, and this is the second time we're having her. She's the leader of the band Iraqis in Pajamas, and she does a lot of traditional Iraqi Jewish melodies, and so we're very grateful to have her.
Great, thank you, and thanks to Yvonne for bringing this to us, to our attention, and giving us an opportunity for something a little bit different than most of us have had before. And I know I'm tripping over the words as a purebred, Ashkenazic. Even recognizing that I think my voice is better suited for Ashkenazic Hebrew, but that might be the case, might not be the case, I don't know. But it's really beautiful, and glad that Loolwa is able to do this for us. Lisa's asking about, can someone speak about the liturgy if it's different or similar to Ashkenazi Selichot? I think there's a lot of overlap, a lot of similarities between it. If I'm looking at the words, certainly the prayer Anenu is a staple for Ashkenazic Selichot. The interesting thing about Selichot is that there's a lot of different variations you can find. Selichot are said in an Ashkenazic context every morning this week now as part of the morning minyan. And the structure of it's generally the same, but in the middle there's a different piyut, a different prayer poem. Every day is a different one. And so here, this is a similar type of thing where we have all these different types of piyutim, of poems that were written and are used probably throughout the month. As I've never been to a Sephardic, Selichot, that started earlier in the month, but it is beautiful to be hearing it tonight.
How is because I get no feedback because of the Zoom thing. How is the pace and everything? Is everyone okay with the structure and the pace and everything?
Yeah, I think so. Could you give a little bit more about what the different prayers are about as you're doing them?
No. The reason I can't is because when I started praying them, I was very young and I could read Hebrew, but I didn't know what I was saying. And I developed a relationship to all of the prayers, not just the Selichot, but all the prayers, that it's like just a river flowing. And so what I relate to is the sensation of the words, the sound of the words, like music. I don't relate to it as words. I'm actually now, later in my late teens, I became fluent in Hebrew. But I've never really spent that much time trying to figure out what it says, because that's not what the prayer is to me. And when I have honestly read the translations, sometimes I feel like, are you kidding me? That's what I've been saying. Like, it's very, we fear you, God, you're terrifying. And I was like, that's not my relationship to God. So I know that there are translations, like there's the Syrian community did quite a bit of work. Like, I know they've got some English translations, but I'm not a great person for that. I can teach it, I can sing it, but I'm not really sure what it's saying. And that's part of that is conscious, because, once I started finding out, I kind of didn't want to know. I wanted to have the original relationship I had to it was how it made me feel. So, but if somebody else can jump in, I'd be happy to hand over the microphone. Any takers? All right. Oh, I hear a click.
Yeah, Rabbi Ovadia would be really good to explain that. If anybody wants his contact information, I can put it in the chat. He's a local Sephardic rabbi.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how are we doing on time now?
We have about 7 minutes.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. I'm
How much time do you think you need?
Well, we have 3 more. I did it numerous times. I thought I timed it for an hour, but things always end up taking longer than you think. I think what I'll do is I'll just sing, since the Hontahon doesn't have a chorus. I think I'll just sing a few of the passages and just jump. We can do like a little bit of the one after that because it's very easy, and then we'll jump to the last one. So I'm going to start towards the bottom of page 8, the last paragraph, Hontahon, which is, like I said, that's where the Iraqi community often starts singing this. Hontahon ala banecha lachashabim وَبَّحَدْ لِفَانِخَ نَصَابِيم يرئيم عاثي قارو لدنكي عالكمباو نخابيم. So that's the song that we sing. It's not actually part of the Selichot. It's the song that we sing, like after the Qadus, after Kiddush. We sing that during the prayer service as well, but it's more considered a song. The next one, Bedil We'abor, very simple refrain. So I'm going to say it and then you repeat it. Bedil We'abor. Bedil We'abor. And the melody is Bedil We'abor. Bedil We'abor. So let's do that 3 times. Bedil We'abor. Bedil We'abor. Bedil We'abor. So I'm just going to do a few of the stanzas and you come in. Bedil We'abor. Rahamana adkalna qayame dabraham rihima. Bedil We'abor. Rahamana adkalna qayama dishaq aqida. Bedil We'abor. رحمنا أذكرنا قيمة يعقوب شلما بدي ويعبر رحمنا أذكرنا قيمة مشى نبيا بدي ويعبر رحمنا أذكرنا قيمة دهران قانا بدي ويعبر رحمنا أذكرنا زخوثاد يوسف صدقة بدي ويعبر. All right, then let's jump to the last one so we have time to do the whole thing. And this is the closing. So this is the ne'ilah, the locking of the gates. This is like your last chance before everything is decided for the year. So the words of the chorus are, I'll say it first and then break it down. El nora alila, hamsli lanu mehila, bisha'atha ne'ilah. So I'll break that down. El nora alila. Again, El Nora Alila, Hamsli Lanu, Mehila, Bisha'at, Hane'ila. So now I'm going to add the melody. El Nora Alila, Eleonora Alila. And again. Eleonora Alila. Together. Eleonora Alila. Going back to the beginning. Listen first. Eleonora Alila. Hamsli Lanu. Eleonora Alila. Hamsli Lanu. Eleonora Alila, Hamsli Lanu Mehila. Eleonora Alila, Hamsli Lanu Mehila. Eleonora Alila, Hamsli Lanu Mehila. Bisha'ath. Eleonora Alila, Hamsli Lanu Mehila. Bisha'ath. Eleonora Alila, Hamsli Lanu Mehila. Bisha'ath Ne'ila. Eleonora Alila, Hamsli Lanu Mehila. Bisha'ath Ne'ila. So let's do that 3 times. Eleonora Alila, Hamsli Lanu Mehila. Bisha'ath Ne'ila. Eleonora Alila, Hamsli Lanu Mehila. Bisha'ath Ne'ila. Eleonora Alila, Hamsli Lanu Mehila. Bisha'ath Ne'ila. All right, before I jump into the verses, at the bottom, the second to last stanza says, Tiskula Shanim Raboth, Habanim wa Ha'aboth. Tiskula Shanim Raboth is the greeting that we say, which means may you merit many years. It's actually Tiskula Shanim Raboth v'Ne'emoth, many pleasant years. Habanim ha'abot is the boys and the fathers. And as a girl, I changed that. Habanim ha'banot, the boys and the girls. So that's how I'm going to sing it today. All right. Let me take a little more water. Eleonora Alila, Hamsilan Umehila, Bishathani Ila, Mathamis Bar Qairuim, Lachayin Nosim, Wumsaldin Behila, Bishathani Ila, Eleonora Alila, Hamsilan Umehila, Bishathani Ila, Shufchim Lecha Nafsham. محبش عموخا حشم وهم صيام محيلة بشعة نعيلة النور عليلة هم صيلان ومحيلة بشعة نعيلة هيا لهم للسترم واستلم من مرة وحثمهم لهود قلا بشعة نعيلة النور عليلة همصيلان ومحيلة بالشعاثة نعيلة حن أثام ورحم وخلو حيس ولوحم أسباهم بليلة بالشعاثة نعيلة النور عليلة همصيلان ومحيلة بالشعاثة نعيلة زخو سقط أبيهم وحدشت يمهم كي قدم وثحيلة بالشعاثة نعيلة النور عليلة همصيلان ومحيلة بالشعاثة نعيلة قرانا شنثر صون وهالشب شعرها صون لأهل با وأهلا بالشعاثة نعيلة النور عليلة همصيلان ومحيلة بالشعاثة نعيلة تزكو لشانيم ربوت هبانيم وهبانوت بديصا وبصاهولا بالشعاثة نعيلة النور عليلة همصيلان ومحيلة بالشعاثة نعيلة ميخائيل إسرائيل إلياهو وجبريل بسرونا جئولا بشعة نعيلة النور عليلة همصيلان ومحيلة بشعة نعيلة تسكول شنيم ربوت or نعمات. I hope he has a beautiful New Year celebration, meaningful, profound New Year celebration. Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate this opportunity. I love sharing the Iraqi Jewish tradition with people. If you'd like to find out more about me, you can visit khazoom.com, KHAZZOOM. You can also find out about my band, Iraqis in Pajamas, at iraqisinpajamas.com. And you can follow me on Patreon at patreon.com/Khazoom. I'm happy to stick around, answer any questions, get into a conversation.
School Shanim Rabot to you as well. Thank you for joining us. And thanks to everybody so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So the last one, so was that for Ne'ilah or?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. Same word, same tune. Sort of.
What was that? I heard a question, but I didn't know what it was.
That's in our prayer book as well.
Right. So
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our
Part of
master
Ne'ilah,
also
right?
changes banim ve'avot to banim ve'banot.
Oh, really?
Okay.
It is kind of obvious.